Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Group 2 and we would like to present our work about the theme of sacrifice found in A Tale of Two Cities. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is Devita Ardila as moderator.
And my name is Friesko Sindhu P.
My name is Meytata Balqis K.
My name is Yohanita N.
My name is Putri.
My name is Maaza Khoirunisa.
My name is Shelina Ernes.
My name is Atiya Rohmah.
So here I am explaining what the definition of sacrifice. So from Cambridge Dictionary, have a sacrifice as verb to give up something that is valuable to you in order to help another person. And the sacrifice as noun, the act of giving something that is valuable to you in order to help someone else. And from the other source, a sacrifice is an offering or gift given in the context of a hierarchical relationship. Often to a higher power, sacrifice carries the risk of rejection, which associates can express gratitude and love, but also serve as a form of exchange. In ethics and politics, sacrifice involves self-transcendence, where individual realizes self-interest in favor of a higher ideal. However, misguided self-sacrifice can lead to harmful actions, making it both a noble and dangerous concept.
So the next is necessary attributes of sacrifice, or we can call it as characteristic of sacrifice. So there are 4 points. The first is loss. So only the real losses, that something that already exists in the possessions of the sacrificer is counted as sacrifice. So for example, if someone told you that if I had gone to work instead of spending time with you, I should have gained $1,000. It's not count as sacrifice because the $1,000 is not exist in the first place. So the next is willful loss. So for an act to get called as sacrifice, the sacrificer must willingly to do it. So for example, if a man dies for saving another man who is drowning, it is called as sacrifice if the man is willingly to jump in the river, not get pushed by someone else. And next is irrevocability of loss. So, if something is replaceable, it is not counted as sacrifice. For example, if someone missed the train and you give them your ticket, it is not counted as sacrifice because you can get the ticket later on. It is different if someone donating their kidney, it is counted as sacrifice because the kidney will not grow itself later on. And the last point is earnest. So we can take example by if you giving away your money for charity, it is not counted as sacrifice. But if you give your very dear toy to a poor child, it is counted as sacrifice because you love this thing very much, but you still willfully to give it to someone else.
Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the character sacrifice. So for the first sacrificer, we have Sydney Carton's. So here is Sydney Carton's sacrifice. Carton's decision to take Charles Dickens' place at the guillotine is the ultimate act of sacrifice. He gives up his life so that Lucy can live happily with her husband and children. So for the evidence, we can find it page 73 in the last paragraph. So the quote is, "It is far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far better rest that I go to than I have ever known." Here, Carton declares, "It is far better thing that I do than I have ever done." Here signifying his selfless act of sacrificing his life for Charles Dickens, the husband of the woman he loves. This act not only redeems his wasted life, but also grants him a sense of peace as he anticipates a far, far better rest, a legacy of love and honor that will endure through Lucy and their future children. Another example of the sacrifice made by Carton can be seen in his action in the next evidence.
So in the next evidence, we can see on page 66 in the last paragraph. So in the quote, "Are you dying for him?" it's said by the young girl who shocked by Carton's choice to sacrifice himself for Darnie. And this shows how serious his decision and highlights his selflessness. Also, Cotton's replay and his wife and child, yes. It reveals that he wants to protect not just Darnie, but also Lucy and her family. It's showing his deep love for them. So, for the reason behind Cotton's sacrifice can be seen in the next evidence.
So, this is the reason behind Sydney Carton's sacrifice. Sydney Carton confesses his one-side feeling to Miss Lucy, admitting that she does not reciprocate his feelings. He said, "Thank you, Miss Lucy, I will never talk about this again." Despite his despair, he found himself after confessing his feelings, showing a deep emotional connection between Carton and Miss Lucy that is more than romantic. This moment ultimately leads to sacrificing himself for the sake of happiness later, which has been explained in the story.
Okay, for the next character we have Carlos Darnay. The sacrifices are Darnay returned to revolutionary France despite knowing the danger. To help an old family servant, Cable. His decision is driven by his sense of moral responsibility and loyalty to his family servant. So, because the decision to return to revolutionary France, Carlos Darnay showed the moral duty and the loyalty. And his decision is emphasized the idea of sacrifices. Thank you.
So the third character is Dr. Manet. His sacrifices is he willingly to go back to France despite his old age and also his terrible past, only to save his daughter's husband. We can say that from the evidence on page 44 that Dr. Manet seemed to become stronger as he lived through this terrible stage, doing everything he could to save his daughter's husband. So Dr. Manet willingly did everything to save his son-in-law, Charles Dickens, who was a prisoner at La Force from the guillotine or from his death. And as a regular person, a doctor, he cannot set Dickens free. Moreover, he is taking the problem alone. He doesn't want to bother anyone from this problem, even for help. And then the next evidence is on page 44 too. Dr. Manet told the tribunal that he had been a prisoner in the Bastille for 18 years and that his son-in-law was now a prisoner in La Force. Dr. Manet also willing to face this traumatic event in the past, that he was a prisoner in Bastille for 18 years, when he cannot see her wife and her daughter, but still he wants to go back to France to save his beloved daughter's husband. He even leveraged his painful past as a prisoner and uses to build a connection with the tribunal just because he wants to save his son-in-law, Charles Dickens.
Thank you everyone, that's all from our group. If you have any comments or questions about our presentation, please comment in the chat box below. Thank you!